Welcome to Island Origin.
Hello, we're live.
Good afternoon, good evening, what time it is?
It's in the afternoon, it's like 7 p.m.
I see sunshine.
It is summer.
It's summertime. Good evening and happy summer to all of you.
Let me share.
Please do share. While David is sharing, I'll welcome you all to another fabulous episode of Island Origins Live on Jamaicans.com. So we have, I'm Calibe, just in case you forgot since last week.
Yes, and of course, Sexy Man.
Sexy Man.
Alongside
Ashwarya.
Yeah.
Ashwarya. Can we just call you Ash, please?
Yes, Ash
I'm not
is
going to
good
remember
for
all
short
of that.
names.
It's too much, yeah. All right, so let me make sure the microphone is facing the correct direction.
excited, from it on the table.
It's
Sorry,
fabulous.
from it's on the table. I mean, that's
It's on the
top
table.
of that. We turn it down.
Oh man, it's all good. So, what have you guys been up to? I think you were. Oh, sorry. Happy Independence, Emancipation, whatever.
Right.
All of that
Why,
stuff.
I don't understand emancipation. Why we combine the two separate things into one?
Because that's the cool thing to do.
Oh,
It's like,
I don't feel it's that cool. I love Emancipation Day, August 1st, and I like Independence Day.
It's like J Rod or when they put the two names together, it's supposed to be a cool thing. You know, like when parents name them pick me these weird names because they took the father first father.
Yes.
Yes. So happy independence and emancipation.
Yeah, man, for real.
Congratulations to all you Jamaicans who are now 56.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we are live.
56 years young. Congratulations to all of us. And so what have you guys been doing for the past week?
I don't
Since
know, what
last
have we been
month.
doing? Oh my gosh, so many things. I went to New York City.
You drove.
Yeah, of course.
I think you're a crazy person.
Hence why we're here. We do crazy. I love crazy. Yeah, it was awesome. Me and the kiddos did a very impromptu, very like.
You were planning for like a day and a half. Come on now.
Sorry, we did decide on Tuesday when it went to morning. So I guess for me, it considered a little bit of planning.
Right.
But all told, it was great. So last week was really fun week. I had a lot of work. I was under a lot of pressure, trying to get stuff done, and I got what I needed off my plate, and I just took off. It was really awesome to enjoy that time with my sons, and it was really just a nice boys outing.
Right.
That was the vibes.
Right.
Yeah, last week was a good week.
Right. And then
Oh well,
Ashwarya. Oh my
I
gosh.
was in Jamaica, the good sweet Jamaica, right?
Ethan, you're always in
The
jerk
good
work.
food. It's the good Jamaica. I love that.
Well, of course I had jerk pork, I had breadfruit, I had soup, you know, I had all the good stuff. I went to the
You
river.
got your eyebrows done. They look very tidy. That's fabulous.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
thank you.
Ladies.
those things.
Ladies, you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't even know to say I want an eyebrow thing.
Yeah. Is this what the... sorry, we're going to do a technical thing. Is this what it looks like in the screen? Because
Yeah, you want to get tight.
I'm going to go tighten up the shots. Yes.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
While we all discuss. So,
Alright.
excuse me one moment.
So as we present to you our fabulousness, our producer and host has made a move. No, just shift this forward and yeah.
Oh, okay. And you will let me know when it's in the right
But
spot.
I haven't in real time. You can see it on the screen.
No.
Oh, you can.
It's set up differently on the
Well,
screen.
alright.
That's
Well,
what
I don't know what that is, but it'll zoom shortly. So while we're working, if you have any thoughts or questions, please put them in. They say we see you walking outside now. Please put them in the comments that we can address.
I love this. Hello, beautiful people.
Of course.
Hello, beautiful
Yes.
person.
Thank you, Shirley. And happy independence to everybody. Thank you for the independence. That zoomed in very well. We're now very set.
Fantastic.
Yeah, man. It's like you knew it exact. Look at that frame.
Oh, yes. Fabulous.
Very well. See?
No disrespect to everyone, but because we're short-staffed, we have to kind of finagle a little bit. So.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I didn't realize how wonderful my afro looks on the camera.
You're fabulous. You're sexy, man.
Yeah, but the afro really,
Even
on
if-
camera, it's kind of
Even if
sharp.
the afro is ratchet, it's still sexy.
Thank you.
Right.
I was just yesterday we were having a conversation. A little white lady asked me, how I get the name Sexy Man? I said, it's an intellectual thing. I know that you look at the body, you're not so sure why. It's not a physical thing, it's an intellect. The sexiness comes out of the intellect.
Yes, out of your pores and stuff.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right. So this weekend I did an interview with Andrew Gillum.
I saw that. It was boss. I loved it.
Thank you. You know who that is?
No.
Okay. All right. So Ash is not actually an American. She's a Jamaican visiting from Jamaica. We're Jamaicans that are actually Americans now. So Andrew Gillum is one of the five. There's 5 Democratic candidates for governor, and they are now trying to whittle themselves down to the one Democratic nominee who will go up against whoever is the Republican nominee. So the Gillum campaign actually reached out to us and said we want to do something and reach out to the Caribbean community. Of course, through Dale Holness. Big up Dale. And so he was doing a fundraiser, invited us to come in. We did some questions in the room in general, and then he actually came and sat and did like a few quick fire questions with us and things. So I liked it. I will tell you the truth. I am not one of those people who is going to vote for somebody just because they're black.
Yeah.
He is the only black candidate in the race.
I think we saw his thing.
His poster board thing out.
Yes.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
doesn't.
Look good though.
He's a nice looking guy. He's a nice looking guy,
Yes.
and he's actually a nice guy as well. You know, he talks about being the only non-millionaire amongst the group of people who are running. And I was like, you know, why is that a good thing? Why is that everybody didn't start off rich? Some of them did. But the thing that I liked about him is something that, you know, somebody texted me and said. They said that none of the other candidates, you know, all of them sent postcards, but none of them have ever come into his community. And the fact that this gentleman took the time to talk to our audiences, it wasn't just me. He was on with Marlon. He was in a barber shop somewhere. He was reaching out to the community that he is of, and interacting with us on a certain level. And that I appreciated that. You know,
So, out of curiosity, did he walk with curd goat or just?
He didn't walk with curd. When I asked him, did he prefer oxtail or jerk chicken, he was quick on the draw with the jerk chicken. So I know that's not your preference. I know, Ash. He said his mother would have been an oxtail lady.
Yeah, he did.
But
say
he's
that.
a jerk chicken guy. Yeah.
So okay. So there were some questions about 2 things that I found interesting.
Yes.
Because while you were on with him live, I was rambling with a lady who, or I assume a lady, I don't even know if she's a man or a woman.
Okay.
Her tone was like a lady.
Right.
But she was concerned about Jamaican.com as a platform supporting a specific candidate, particularly a Democratic candidate. What is the status on that? Why, as we are individuals with our own independent thoughts and we are on this platform, how do we represent Jamaicans.com or the opinions of? Can we clarify?
Or should we put a little ticker tape on the bottom that says the thoughts expressed on this program are not necessarily the thoughts of the platform Jamaicans.com? The thing is that for me, you know, and I've said this to you before, if a Republican or a Democrat or a black person or a racist white person or whoever it is has an opinion that they want to express and they want to be our guest on the show, I might personally agree with them, I might personally disagree with them, and whatever my feeling is going to come out in that conversation. But we're not going to close ourselves off, and we're grateful to Jamaicans.com for allowing us the platform to do that. But if somebody says, I want to come and have a conversation with your people, granted, Magic said what he had done was put a little logo in the top right corner, so it might have looked like an endorsement, but it actually was not. It was us offering a platform to people who wanted to reach our people. And I would do that again every day of the year. What's your thought?
That's my thought. I guess I share the same opinion.
So the lady was complaining that it's unchristian to be Democrat or.
Yeah, I think so. So if we went a break, what she was saying.
Yeah.
And of course, now I'll tell you, my opinion is I vehemently disagree with this type of opinion. But she was saying that as a Christian, she could not support anything democratic, and she thinks that all democratic candidates are, I don't know if I remember the exact wording, but
I think I saw like baby killers and.
they are right. So basically because it's not pro-life and so on.
Right.
And the thing about it was confusing. She said she supported Barack Obama as a Democrat, and that's the end of the road for her because that's when she realized how evil Democrats are. So I'm not sure
I
that
think
the
the
person was.
Russians got to her. No, you laugh at it.
When you said the Russians got to her, did they come down from the sky, a UFO, and invade her home? Or?
But the same Facebook that she's on.
Yeah.
And you know, I used to kind of laugh at this as well, but I'm seeing some intelligent people with some opinions that just don't make sense to me. And there's a lot of articles that are circulating. This term has come about, fake news. And I remember one that said, why black people shouldn't vote for this particular candidate. And when I went into as a journalist, I'm going to use the air quotes for journalist because I didn't go to journalism school. Nobody's hearing us properly?
No, they said the volume is low, so I just seeing if we can increase the volume a little bit.
Bring the microphone in better. All right. Yeah, and as a journalistic person, as someone in media, I like to go and look for sources and is this true or is this not true? And literally within a few minutes of just doing a little bit of Google searching on a lot of these points that this person is racist and this person killed babies, and you do 2 minutes worth of searching and you find that it's all foolishness. But people don't do that. They see something and because it's on the internet suddenly it's true and oh my gosh, all the Democrats are pedophiles, and that's a real thing now. Have you seen the QAnon and all the conspiracy madness?
Unfortunately, or fortunately, I stay far away from that type of thing. I don't really know the latest on those things.
Right.
But please, everyone, let us use our intellect. Please. There's no one set of people that are any one thing. Even the most right-wing person and the most left-wing person have things in common, and they have things they disagree on. Yeah. There's no evil set and not evil set. And
I want to encourage people. You'll see things sometimes and go, there's no way that could be true. But it must be true because I see it on Facebook and you're flying this whole thing on plastic rice and plastic cabbage.
No, I have to say, those things, I have to applaud the people who spend the time to do these videos on the plastic, all these different things. Plastic carriage. I think there about 10 times somebody sent me a video on the making of plastic carriage.
I chew a piece of plastic and it masticates in my mouth and swallow down my throat and I don't realize it's plastic.
It's not happening.
Oh my gosh.
It's just too much.
How do you boil a piece of plastic and it puff up into the same texture as rice and you can eat it like rice? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's a lot out there.
So when things seem like they might not make sense, just do a little Google search. Is plastic rice real? And you'll see there's sites like Snopes, right? There's one called Snopes. Mm-hmm. That all it does is debunk foolishness.
Things, right.
Right. They go in and see what is true and what is fake, and they'll tell you what is fake a lot of the time. A little bit of research, guys. Come on, please. All right. Independence and emancipation. What did we all do for?
Well, okay.
Were you at the emancipendence?
So I did a couple of things. So as I said, I actually got back from our trip up north Sunday, and I got in, I took a bath, and I went back on the road right after. So, events are us, the great Chuck, always putting on great programming. I went to the street dance that Chuck hosted downtown Fort Lauderdale.
How was it?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. Chuck, I gotta say congratulations. I don't you're out there working right now because you're never not working.
Right.
But if you happen to catch the video, I think they did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like being fenced in for a street dance. I would like for the street dance to be open.
Mm-hmm.
But considering around the fencing area was open, it didn't feel bad, and everything was good. Entertainment was good.
Vexy never called me now because Kuya did Kuya the
fashion show.
I'm so mad. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to go.
You saw what?
Sunday night. Yeah, I came in Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I came in. I laid on for like half hour.
So they've been going all the time. But,
This is hilarious. No further comment. But
yes,
but it was really good. I only saw the live performance. I didn't get to see like Waggy T. Whoever was playing early,
right.
I didn't see, but I saw the live performances. They were great. Big up to Bobby Rose. I'm a little confused because it was advertised as progression band, but I saw Bobby singing, and I don't know him to sing with progression, so I was a little confused. But
they did a mix and match.
I think it was a little mix and match, but the music was great, the vibe was good. I liked the way they did the bar. Bar was in the center, and anybody could get to it, and they had a nice little VIP area, which I didn't get a band for, so I was in VIP.
Chuck?
I was crying. No, whenever I asked him for he saw me, I saw him. Whenever, but it was a good vibe. I handed out flyers. I was there, my show coming up, so I was doing the thing.
Which we'll talk about
in a bit. But that was Sunday, and then yesterday, last night, I went to the Emancipendence in Miramar. Dr. Sue, for real. Big up Willie Stewart. Hey, listen, Willie Stewart is no longer just Willie Stewart. Willie Stewart have a full band with singers and.
Yeah, that's the Friends.
Yeah, Willie Stewart and Friends. Listen, I'm obviously not in the touring circuit, but they have a legit, multiple singers. Every instrument is on there. It might be full. I mean, I'm impressed. Yeah, I was impressed. And Nadine Brady Taylor put on a tremendous performance. She did her what do you call her thing now? The bandana outfit, but it was a little bit more colorful. I like the feel of myself. Everybody. Yeah, but no, she had on a nice. It's an upgrade to the bandana, but it's still a colorful plaid style outfit, and she had her wheelbarrow with her fruit and thing, and she danced.
That big boss.
It bought, hey, let
they
me tell
made
you.
like little aki out of paper mache, and it looked like real.
So that was last night. A lot of people were there.
I know.
Yeah, that place was.
I was there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, you didn't stay long, but you were there long enough to see.
Yeah.
Yo, Dr. Sue, Mayor Messon, family, all the commissioners, City of Miramar. Yes. Y'all did a fabulous job. That's a great celebration for Jamaica. Minister of Education was there, Royal Reed. They had it was real. It was a good turnout, and I thought the programming was nice. I didn't get to the food because the lines were lengthy. Yeah. So I didn't join the lines, but I did sneak at one party. And I had lots of Grace products. Let me just give you this right now. Tropical rhythms and those other juices. Yeah. That was my dinner. Yeah. It was good. Grace Cafe, big up.
I have one of the Grace patties in my fridge there, and thank you for reminding me that's going to be my dinner too. I was wondering what I was going to eat today.
Somebody bring some other brand patty come from Jamaica. Okay. I don't see them in the fridge. Hello. Anyway.
Can I tell you? I am a patty snob, right? My number one patty is going to be the brick oven patties, the triangular ones that they used to do. Maybe my number two is juicy. I prefer juicy over tasty. Or maybe tasty and juicy kind of on par.
Tasty first, juicy.
I prefer the tasty crust, but the inside of the juicy for me is a better thing. But anyway,
listen, we're not going to debate it.
We won't debate it, but that's my number two, number three. They call them a type for number two, number three. I like the Grace patties up here. Like there's other ones whose name shall not be called. Either the crust is weird or the filling is weird or whatever. These are almost like the tasty patties them at home.
Of note, I have to mention, I know that Jamaicans.com, and I don't know all the stats off the top of my head, but I know they've done the surveys on the best patty in Broward or the best patty in Florida. And I don't know who has won it each year, because I don't follow that. But I'll tell you, I was recommended by Cairo to go and try.
Actually, your son?
Yes, my son. And Luke, both, and actually my brother-in-law, all three endorsed this patty from this place by Pine Island and 44th. I don't know the name of the place, but all of them said that it's the best patty in Florida. And I went there.
In Florida or in South Florida?
No, them saying Florida.
Oh, them going to know that. They haven't been to Orlando to taste the people in patty.
I'm just telling you what the people them tell me. Anyway, I went to the restaurant, I don't remember the name, but the patties were excellent. The problem was, I went there, let's just say it was 12:30, and meatloaf never ready, and kalaloo loaf never ready. So even what I wanted, I didn't get it. But what I got was amazing. So they had an aki patty and a kalaloo patty, and they were all very good. I didn't have a regular beef, because I was so excited by all these variations. So I went to the variations and I had a great time. Whoever whoever knows, if you know the name, put it in the comments. That place needs to be more known. It's a one location, it's not a chain, and it's just a one.
You're saying the Aki Patty, I may have gone to that place. I don't know.
The patty nice. It eat good. Them sort of crust is good, filling is good. It's sort out well. So if anyone knows the name of that spot, 44th and Pine Island, it's right there, south side of the street.
I may have been there. You know, I don't like to drive go anywhere. So Walmart is down the road, and in the frozen section, I can find my Grace Patty. I'm working at the Grace Patty. So what did you end up doing for independence, if anything?
I didn't do anything, honestly.
Yeah.
I went to the country. I went to Negril to visit my grandparents, my grandmother. My grandfather recently died, so it's no longer grandparents. Grandparents, my grandmother. So, but on the following day, I went to a river called Paradise River, which is in Westmoreland. And it was nice. And I also went to Blue Hole. There's a Blue Hole in Negril by today.
Really?
Yeah. But it's literally just a hole that you drop down.
It's a blue and it's a hole.
Yeah, you drop down.
Right.
Yeah. But other than that, because I couldn't deal with the whole crowd and so forth, so I just, it was really just a chill trip. It was a chill trip.
You never go ATI.
No,
Dream weekend.
Yeah.
Hello, independence. No dream weekend, you never did a dream.
Right, independent for that weekend, whatever you want.
Yeah. For those who did, you can also share your comments. If you went to the dream weekend, if you did it up, you say, how much is that? $1 million ago? I don't know. I don't know where to reach now.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, just about that. Accommodation, clothes, food,
It's worth it.
Right?
To the promoters,
they're all inclusive.
Big up.
Everything is all inclusive.
Not all of them. I think most of them are all
Most of
inclusive.
them are all inclusive.
But you have some warm-up ones, like the Friday night or something you have to...
Thursday night
or something you have to buy.
When they talk about all inclusive, boy, I went to this Frenchman's Fete.
Right,
this January for 200 what was it, like $250 or something?
New Year's Day party?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But they themselves well.
Yeah.
No man, no, it was proper, right? I didn't do anything for independence because I'm just boring and old. I don't like to go anywhere. I went to the Emancipendence thing, saw the lovely crowd of people and the nice setup in there, and I'm fairly weird. So if there's too many people in a place, I'm just gonna kind of just take away myself. as an event promoter, sometimes I don't know how that works, but so I didn't do anything there. But that Frenchman's, somebody bought me a ticket, right? And
somebody I look for.
Nobody was looking at me. But no, I went with my family.
That's an awesome treat for somebody not looking at you.
Yeah, it's a Christmas tree.
All right.
I went with my family, and you're driving through the bushes of St. Catherine and the cow, baka cow they would call it when I was in high school. And you're driving like, what are these people carrying me in the bush to dump me or something? And you bust the prairie, and there's suddenly these tents, these huge, I've not seen tents this huge. A number of them just in the bush there, and there's these beautiful chandeliers, and the floor is paved with wood, or you can't pave with wood. And you're walking through this hallway of fabric on both sides, and there's these white gloved hands poking out of the wall with glasses of June plum mimosa and soursop mimosa and ray, and they take your mimosa and the hand just disappear in the wall and come back out in another one. And I'm like, okay, $250 worth, I can go home now, right? And this is like just coming in through the gate.
Right.
So that wow factor made a difference. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like people touching me all the time. It got to that point, because I don't know when you lost people, all of them were out there. So I don't know how we got to this from independence.
But no, it's just about what we enjoy and what's going on and what are the offerings.
I enjoyed that. The ambience of it, right?
The one Heroes Weekend is good too.
Where is that?
In OT.
Is that another fancy one or it's a beach party?
Frenchman.
All of them are fancy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, pretty much.
But it's, you see the amount you would have paid for New Year's Day,
Right.
that's what you'd have paid for the 3 days events
Okay.
for that package.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're all inclusive. Yeah.
Well, I guess there's the chandeliers or something, cause
Yeah.
the food,
yeah.
the food was
It's
poco
more
poco.
party than it is
Yeah.
grandiose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food was like I would eat before I go to Frenchman again next time. I think food ran out at some point. Did it run out? Something like that. Either the food or the like the lobster kind of food ran
Okay,
out.
yeah.
The lines were long for the food. You know how that garden is. I've invented it's gonna happen. But no man, the ambience and the party and the look of how they set up the place was just like blew me away. Blew me away. Anything else for emancipendence?
Emancipendence? No, but you talk about food. I like to think about food. I don't know if we spoke about this, but since we're on the topic of food, and I have 1,000 food stories, including my trip. But I'm gonna go back to last week because last week Saturday, not this weekend, the weekend before I left town, I went to dinner at the Yarumba. And I just want to mention, so Chef Danny was sick and he said he would not make it in, and so he told me to go and ask for a particular server. And I'm going to tell you, genuinely, we were really properly taken care of. Not only was the service spectacular, the food was off the chain, and we had some guests who we were entertaining from London, and they were thoroughly impressed. So I'm just going to give a shout out to Yarumba. For those of you who are not familiar, please check out Yarumba. We did a food review on them in this issue of Island Origins magazine. I highly recommend you read the review, but even more importantly, go to that restaurant. The food is spectacular. You know, I have my favorite, which is the fish. Yeah, I did not have the fish. I let my server select for me.
As usual.
And he was on point. Everything from my drink, my before the entree, but my what do you call that thing? Appetizer, entree, and dessert were all on point, off the chain, and he, I think, closed some business for us. We'll see what happens, but it looks like we're in good business as a result.
I love that.
So
I love that story. We need more stories like that in the world. All right. So, but yeah, you were saying you're gonna say something about the food on your trip.
Oh, okay, certainly. So I would say that we actually did a very Jamaican thing in terms of the food. Cause we did a lot of like food carrying. You know, you grow up in Jamaican culture, you're gonna find that everybody carry food. There's a lot of food packed. So we actually packed everything because we decided late about the trip. We were able to
bully beef sandwich.
Exactly. So we did a bully beef sandwich, and we just simple things like peanut butter and carried extra bread, and we carried a lot of things. I mean, Masai carried cereal. Because I'm a cereal junkie. So we literally carried everything. So the trip up, we didn't stop at all. We just only did gas and drove the whole way straight. But then in New York, we ate at Jacob's, which is great soul food. For those of you who've been to Harlem, there are a couple of places that are high end and a couple of places that are low end. And Jacob's is definitely on the lower end, but the food is really good. I wouldn't eat their curry goat because it's not ours, but the soul food, just in general, the fried chicken, boss, and you know, I'm not going to name everything, but the food is really good. So that was awesome. We also did some pretty good food. When we went to DC, we had a Tex-Mex food, which was really, really good. And again, don't quote me because I don't remember the exact name of the restaurant, but it's a popular restaurant, and their food is off the chain. The way they do their rice and beans and guac and all the fresh things that they put, really, really, really well done. And then I want to say just one other one for food, because we did the rolling, not stopping anywhere. We did a lot of very unusual breakfast. In particular, we went to a restaurant in New Jersey. Again, sorry, I didn't come on the thing thinking I'm going to talk about food. So the name is not there, but I've never had this before, and that's rare for me to say. But I'm going to say it's a Dominican, Dominican Republic traditional meal where you get a wrap. It's like a big tortilla, and it's deep into a bowl, and they put like everything you can dream of in it, and it's open faced, and I eat it, man, but people pick and piece and it has a name, and somebody, if you know the name, put it in there. But that was astounding. It was really amazingly done, and it has everything. It's a little bit of
the eggs and the
some
cereal.
of the eggs and it, yeah, and it has
cereal and the French
like a
toast.
steak and exactly everything in one big bowl, and it's like a jambalaya of flavors, but it's a traditional Dominican Republic food. I don't remember the name, but it's awesome. So yeah, that was of the breakfasts. That was, and the breakfasts were in a way the highlight. That was the highlight for me, breakfast wise.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish I could say that I've had some exotic, I only eat chicken and fish, so.
Right. No, yeah,
I'm
from it's not human, I'll eat it.
Okay. All right. Any exciting foods for you?
This weekend? Well, I went to Bahamas Breeze.
Bahamas
Breeze.
Bahamas Breeze.
See, I didn't see my hair.
Oh my
God.
Is it jerk wings?
No.
I had that Bahamas
I had the jerk chicken pasta.
Okay. I haven't had it in a long time.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's good. It was with
It's
mushrooms.
a creamy with mushroom, yeah, it's
and
good.
asparagus.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
how
good.
it. And in case she doesn't admit it, earlier today she cooked fried bread, fruit, and callaloo. So we had some decent Jamaican today. Thank you, Ash.
You're welcome.
I'm boring. I made my jerk turkey meatballs.
It's not bad jerk turkey meatball. Sound like it's kind of interesting.
Right?
Not because I make it every single time there's food to be cooked in my house. It's not boring.
Okay.
It's not boring, but it tastes good. All right. So moving right along. Let's bring Ash into the conversation. So did you see this exchange between LeBron and Don Lemon and then the Ash?
I didn't. I'm not so out there.
All right. I'm gonna give some thoughts on the whole.
Let me set the
Oh,
scene
second because
first.
I have this whole thing to go down.
Because I'm sure that many of the people who are watching have seen it and many have not. So LeBron James, excuse me, and Don Lemon are doing this interview.
Okay.
LeBron has opened a school in his old community from Ohio, from Cleveland, Akron, Ohio. And so it's for underprivileged or whatever kids who are at risk or in need or whatever.
Okay.
Because he himself, when he was young, he didn't have a great school life. I think he, dropped out of school. I don't know, like some real hard luck story and whatever. So it's a bad situation for him. He was like, I want to do something better for the kids in my community. He's built this great school that has after school programs, and if you graduate, they're going to give you a scholarship to whatever the local university is, and just like a track where kids who might have ended up in a bad situation now have a chance, right? But of course, during the course of the conversation, Dan Lemon goes, what do you think about, would you have a conversation with Trump? He goes, no, I wouldn't even share space with him. And, he just said some things that were not necessarily flattering. I don't think he said anything like knock down, drag out, disparaging either. But then Trump goes the next morning and decides that he's going to tweet something like the dumbest man on television interviewing another stupid guy or whatever. He's the only person that could make LeBron look smarter. Something like that. And Melania Trump came out the day afterwards and was like, "Oh no, LeBron, I'm so proud of you." Hillary Clinton did the same thing. A number of stars and celebrities came to LeBron's defense, kind of just saying, keep doing what you're doing. We're so proud of you. And so we're back to is it a racist thing? Why this guy keeps saying black people are stupid or low IQ or what? It's always that type of insult. On the other side, the Nazis are very fine people. And so that's the bigger argument. But the root of it was the LeBron and the Don.
So here's the thing now. So yeah, good way to set the table. So there is some other backstory to it where there have been, other, let's just say Fox News or people who would say, athletes should shut up and not use not try to attempt to have a platform.
Right.
Just play a sport and
keep quiet.
And be quiet. So I'm vehemently against those kind of stereotypes. I think everybody should have any voice that they want. Create a platform and shout to the highest. Whoever is willing to listen. And if you don't like what I have to say, ignore me. Once I'm not doing something to instigate a problem for you or an income or for a community. And then worse to the point where it's somebody who's actively who doesn't need to. Like LeBron could sit in his riches and enjoy it for himself. The fact that he is intentionally trying to help people. He is giving away college scholarships. So these, I think it's some thousands of children he's promised that he will put through college over time. Yeah, it's not like a short period of time, like over the next 10 years or 15 years, whatever it is. He's going to put some hundreds to thousands of children through college. How will you find anything negative to say?
Because he said something mean about me, so he's stupid.
Yeah, but that's my point.
But that's your own opinion,
yeah, but everything is opinion. We all have opinion. The fact is, let's celebrate somebody who's uncalled for, doing something to benefit people in such a clear and obvious way. Let's celebrate the man. Let us celebrate the man.
And that's the thing, like you don't ever see, well, he's doing a good thing, but he didn't have to be so, he's nasty to me or whatever it is. It's just like you're stupid or you're dumb or you're low IQ. And it always comes back to the skin color thing at the end of the day. Like, where we go? Who are the people taking the knee again? That's the football crowd, right? Taking the knee, and there's some of the owners. I don't know if you saw this. There's the football federation or whatever. What are they called? Is that what they're called?
In America?
Yeah. The NFL professional players association.
Oh, the players association, right.
They came and said that they do have to stand, and then they came back and said no, they don't have to stand. And then the owners were like, no, we're going to back them if they don't want to stand. And then one of the owners came back and said, no, my guys all have to stand. And it's like, at what point is freedom of speech actually freedom of speech? Only when you have enough money for your money to be freedom of speech?
The funny thing is, there is no freedom of speech when it comes to the NFL. Because let's just be real about it. Every player that has genuinely been leading the protest is out of the league.
Yeah, it's a plantation system with very high paid.
It is absolutely. They remove them if they're too vocal. Yeah. That's just the reality. There's no player that is being very outspoken that is getting a new contract. If you have a contract and kicking you out immediately, they may make it more difficult for you. But the people who are very vocal are not getting any. In the NFL, the quarterback is the superstar, and you have quarterbacks who no longer can play the game because they're being vocal. That's pretty telling.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine this weekend, and he was saying that he doesn't even get bothered by the president and the right wing and the things that people say that may sound racist or may sound combative against a certain community or another certain community. And I'm not for the far left wing either. But he was like, I just can't be bothered, I don't care, it's not affecting me in my day-to-day life. But when you start to see things like that, right, it's not affecting you right now in your pocket, but if you do decide one day that you're going to step up and say something, your whole livelihood can be taken away, right? It's like, to me, in the days when if you were black, somebody could just come and burn your house down and take away your business and rape your wife, and all of that would have been fine because you're black, so who cares? Yeah. So many black people are getting shot now and killed. And you're going to talk about, but why you don't pay attention to black and black crime? We are. We're also paying attention to other people on black crime, right? There has to be, to me, a holistic view of how we deal with things. It's not every single neighborhood that has one type or the other type, but all of it has to be addressed. We're all living in one country with each other. So, I don't know. He was of the opinion, the friend that I was discussing this with, was of the opinion that, he's a Christian person and God is going to sort, what a que sera kind of thing. It's all going to be fine in the end one day. But when we as people make a certain type of progress and then somebody comes and on a platform says, no, all of that is rubbish, knock it down. Yes, you can say, I'm just going to protect my little nuclear family or my little group of friends or whatever. But when they come with pitchforks to burn down your whole neighborhood, you're not going to have anything left. Yeah,
we have to be careful, and the truth is, at this point in time, we have to be stronger. I've had loads of conversations, and I think one of the most important conversations that we really need to have is reaching out to other people who have, let's just say, been oppressed, and let's figure out how to not let it ever happen again. for everybody,
Right.
not just for one group, for all groups. And I think that's something that we need to really be acutely aware of and active about right now. We just have to be.
I agree with you, and that was my point as well, right? Because you can look and say, well, if they're not doing it to me, so it don't matter. But if they start with the Mexicans being rapists, and they start with the Muslims being terrorists, and they start with the black people being lazy and gunmen and whatever it is, the police not going to look at me and say I'm a Jamaican. I've had a police officer draw down on me already. It felt like the windows being tinted or something in a car that I borrowed from somebody. And he asked me the question, when was the last time you were arrested?
Wow. I say wow.
I had to stop and I was like, is that a trick question? No, I was like, yes, officer, blah, 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 what's going on? And he asked the question, I was like, what? Look how good me and you were asking that the first time, so,
when was the last time?
When was the last time you were arrested? I'm like, officer, I've never been arrested. He was like, all right, have a good day, right? And I didn't know if it was a trick question. Was that supposed to get me? Was that supposed to get me in a thing where he can now go and check the records? I don't know the psychology of this thing, but I can imagine. When I saw that nice the high color, like fair complexion guy, the tennis guy, right? That they had a few years ago. Blake, yeah.
Man, Blake.
In the middle of New York, Times Square, whatever. Good hot man.
Good
Man, hot, and you can see that it's pretty, and you can see.
Blake,
sorry, you can see that he's just pretty, and it look like he come from some. Maybe he was a little rough shaven or not shaven that day or something.
Yeah.
But you can see that the man is a nice, good, decent, good, right? Decent fellow. And I don't know if they were pushing him face in the ground or whatever it is, but these police just because he's a black guy and he looked like some other black guy. So, it's going to reach, or let me not say it's going to, I don't want to call it on anything on us, right? But it can reach all of us. I'm going to jump into the next topic on my paper.
About 15 minutes to leave on the timeline.
So they're now going after, we've known that they've been trying to kick out the immigrants and keep out the Mexicans and so they're not going after legal immigration as well.
Yeah, that must be fake news. That cannot even be real. But before we go there, everybody who's watching, share please. Yeah. We have 15 minutes, let's close out strong, we're going to talk about it. Yeah, what's really going on there?
So, this is my little one research thing that I did today.
It's got to be fake news.
Details of, and I don't, that term fake news, it applies to some places, but there are some news organizations that from your born until now, I don't think they're going to start becoming fake news, right? They typically will go on research. So there's certain Fox News that I will lean on their information because Fox News is news in certain sections. Sean Hannity is an entertainment show, so I don't know for that one. Right? But anyway, details, this is from NBC. Details of the rulemaking proposal are still being finalized, but based on a recent draft seen last week and described to NBC News, immigrants living legally in the U.S. who have ever used or whose household members, right, anybody that's in your household have ever used Obamacare, which is basically mandatory to have, right? Children's health insurance, if you have a child, you must use the children's health insurance. Food stamps, if you just come into this country and you're trying to get off your feet and use food stamps or other benefits, could be hindered from obtaining legal status in the U.S., even if you have somebody in your household, even if it's not you. Immigration lawyers and advocates and public health researchers say it would be the biggest change to the legal immigration system in decades and estimate that more than 20 million immigrants could be affected. That includes you watching this right now. They say it would fall particularly hard on immigrants working jobs that don't pay enough to support their families. As NBC News report makes it clear, such a move would not need approval from Congress. Trump and his team could actually act unilaterally and impose these changes.
No. You see that we're having this good time. You ain't gonna bring on a sad news.
It's not sad. I want people to become righteously indignant. You hear them SAT word there? Righteously indignant. Because if you sit home and you do not vote in the upcoming elections, this is the type of stuff that can continue to come to pass. When there's a strong Congress that opposes what the president is doing, he cannot do these things with a struggle of pen and just get away with it. People need to be in place to check this guy, and you cannot do it just lock up inside of your community. These are the things that need the voice of the people behind them. And it can affect you, it can affect people in your household, it can affect people in your community. So I'm going to beg you, please pay attention to what is going on. Sorry.
No, I hear, listen, with the soapbox there. I'm going to say, people, we have to, everybody who has a vote in this country, I'm not trying to tell you to run and vote for any one person or for any group. Please don't do that, or don't suggest that I am doing that. But we have to be cognizant that if there is any type of move to do that, which was just being described, where we're going to be discriminated, I made up a new word, discriminated against because of utilizing the services that are being offered, or in some cases, like you said, if you want to get a tax return done, you have to have health care, otherwise they penalize you. So by sheer fact of how they've set up this system, you have to have health care. So now if you get the health care that you have to have, you're going to be penalized for it.
And you're working the menial job that the people that have money don't want to do. Right? You're working that menial job, you cannot make ends meet, but you're working a 40 or 80 hour week and you have yourself and your 2 children. You're going to be penalized for that because you have to get a food stamp or something to stop again.
Please let this be nonsense. Please.
Yeah, Chef I know Chef Ira gets very vociferous about these things as well. He says the folks that are not bothered with what is going on probably didn't vote or won't vote, and that's a problem, for that's the only way we can change things. We must vote. Definitely not fake news about the legal immigrant thing. I know, I'm sure you've been watching it. But for all the folks who live here and say they're not becoming citizens, this will hurt them for sure.
Yeah.
And April says, yes, we need to vote. Agreed.
Yeah. Vote on awareness. We can't sit our head in the grass. If you go to the party on Saturday night, Monday or Sunday evening, read up and see what's going on, because trust me, this is insanity. It is really insanity. Wow. As
a non-American, what are your thoughts here?
What are my thoughts? As in, I think it's very...
Are you trying to become American? Are you trying to live here?
Well...
Give them the yes, Ash.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
So I'm trying to transition from Jamaica to here. So, there I'm seeking stuff that would make that possible for me. So I don't think it's fair to hinder those who are trying to move to somewhere that there are better avenues, and especially from a third world to a first world. So my opinion is that, as you said, we all need to come. Those who would be mostly affected, especially, and those who are affiliated with those, they need to support, because it's a matter of upliftment.
Right.
And you don't want to see your friend or your family member.
Here's the thing. I want to interrupt just a little, because I know you have studied law and you have legal background. So here's the thing. For somebody who is not informed, who has not read, who doesn't have information, is there a way for us to get those people informed? Because really, to me, because I went through this process. I was born in another country. I came to this country. I guided myself through the immigration system to get legal status here in America. And I'm going to say this. I am somebody I'm going to say, I'm intellectually sexy, so I have a brain. It is difficult enough before 9/11 for me to do all of this stuff. I don't know how post 9/11, I know post Trump, what are the levels at which, I'm going to recommend anyone who seeks or has a desire to become a citizen of America, get your paperwork, get your legal, read up the stuff from the very beginning, because you don't want 5 years and 10 years in the process that there's new things that are tripping you up that you are not aware of from the very beginning. So where possible, please do your research.
Here's what freaks me out so much in the current climate. You could have been doing your research for the past 10, 20 years and done everything right, and tomorrow this guy just with an executive order just decide that, okay, all of it is going to change because I said so.
Yeah, that's.
And the people in Congress
That's nuts.
are not doing anything about it because they're afraid of what I don't know. Right, anyway. Moving on to happier, cheerier things. Reggae Reel. All right. Do we have a flyer? Would have a flyer somewhere?
No, I don't know.
I'm gonna find a flyer.
All right.
I'm gonna. No. I have one in here. All right. I'm not being rude. All right. This is David's fault. But I just want to make sure that everybody sees.
I'm gonna say big up to Sean Farquharson, who has come on and said, "What a gone massive." Yeah. And I said, "There, oh, here we go." That was pretty quick.
Yeah, man. I have these things on standby, David. I got you. All right. So that's the Reggae Reel flyer, and that's the nice little. I think we should do our brochure this way. Yeah. This little brochure. So David, I'm going to do this for you because I'm your publicist today. So David has been invited to do this art exhibit at the Pompano Beach Cultural Center. And he has 28 pieces of art, right? Photo art, which is what he does, that are on display there from August 10th to September 30th. Almost 2 whole months, right?
Yeah.
2 whole months. I'm gonna big up myself, so I was a part of setting up the whole exhibit and how it's laid out and everything. But it's a walk through David's lens of your love for music, right? Many people may not know that you grew up in the music industry as a DJ, as a promoter, not a DJ, but turntable DJ, right? As a promoter, etc. He has photographed, I'm sure, hundreds of music concerts and thousands of different artists and what have you. And he's gone through and selected 28 of his favorite, not necessarily his 28 favorite. Apparently, there's a whole lot more that we haven't seen yet. But 28 of his favorite pieces, and put them together in this exhibit called "David, I'm Your Reggae Reel." I don't see the S on
there.
There
is no S.
Yeah.
Somebody's telling you hi. I don't know if your eyes can read that. But there's somebody saying hello. Anyway. But so I'm gonna say this. So as Calibe was alluding, she was very instrumental. I have had a lot of people help me with my art shows over the years. But I've never had this. Calibe has been amazing. Calibe went ahead and designed the way that the show would be put together, the layout, using her architectural background and all of her artistic.
I'm a producer, guys. Chef Irie can attest to this.
She has gone ahead and forced me to be way more fabulous. Way more fabulous. I'm extremely happy with how the show has been put together, and everyone who has seen it. My children said that it's the best show you've ever put together.
Thanks, Calibe.
So I have to give up a lot. Like when my children, Daddy, the show look good. I'm like, wow. So things are going very well, and I'm going to encourage. I'm going to invite. Mm-hmm. This is my personal invitation. You guys, you have 2 full months to come out. The show is already installed. You can come tomorrow if you want. Although it opens on Friday, come out to Reggae Reel. It is a cultural experience. You are to bring your family, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your cousin. There is no charge. It is free to attend. It's at the Pompano Beach Cultural Center.
But there's an actual opening night.
If we're going to come and party, August 26th, we're going to have a big blowout where there's going to be food and drink and David talking about his work and his concert and a whole lot. But
that's when I'm going.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But everybody can't come that one day, otherwise the place is going to break down.
Right.
So I'm encouraging everybody. They open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. Come out. I'll be there this Friday, personally the first night, and I'll be there till 10 p.m. because I have a show and it's going to be going late. So I will be there this Friday. I won't be there every day. I have Calibe's work to do, so I can't be there every day. But I will be there this Friday, and I will. Island Syndicate work. I'll be there this Friday, and I'll be there Sunday, August 26th, which is my mother's anniversary of her birth. So Sunday, August 26th, I will be there all day. So come early, stay late. It will be fun. We will have a great time.
I love this from Chef Irie. I agree with everything you just said. I love this from Chef Irie. He says we always need someone better than us to push us. I think there are people better than you at certain things. So I couldn't have taken the pictures, but I know how to lay them out so that they feel a nice feeling and whatever it is.
Definitely.
And that's what makes a teamwork, Chef Irie. He's part of our team on the culinary side and the TV side and whatever. I cannot be in front of, I can't cook number one, right? But I cannot be in front of the camera and behind the camera and whatever. And he carries that as well as Chef Tia carries that. David carries what we do on the, I'm going to say the political side and the photography, and we all are creative people, and you have to have a team.
Team is important.
But I'll tell you what I'm doing this Friday.
Oh yes, awards.
I'm driving to Orlando by myself. Anyway, I'll be there. All right, and I have to find a dress because they say for the awards ceremony you have to be fabulous. But y'all remember we told you that Island Origins magazine was nominated for a bunch of awards. I don't know if we shared with you that we actually had won all of these awards. We just don't know if we're first, second, or third yet. But we have won awards in the categories of Best New Magazine in Florida and 2 of the Best Written Articles in Florida for the past year. So congratulations to us. I'm actually going up there to collect whatever the trophies, pretty white trophies, particular trophies that are Charlie Awards or bronze or silver, something like that. And I'm very excited to just meet other people in the industry and see what the reaction to Island Origins is.
Definitely. Well, I won't be able to be at the Charlie Awards, so you better be fabulous for both of us and make sure that when they're taking a picture, stand in the front of the group. Even if you got silver, stand in the front, make sure you're in every picture.
They take individual pictures, which is awesome, but I'll also be walking with my selfie stick because I gotta tell that the story as it is happening, bathed in the glow of
Let's
my
make
trophy.
sure we get some pictures since I'll be holding down the fort in Fort Lauderdale at Reggae Reel. Everybody, your opportunity begins on Friday. Come on out. I promise you, I'll be there all Friday evening, and I'll be there Sunday, August 26th. Check out Reggae Reel. I'm very proud of it, and I people always say to me, "Oh, Miss Yeshua, I really wanted to come." No excuse. You guys have 2 months. This is not Art Basel one little weekend. This is 2 months at a reputable
We
place.
should drive down local streets and just pick up people and bring them. So make sure it's full up.
It's going to be full on the 26th. I want the other days for people to come and have an opportunity. Bring your family. You will not have many more opportunities to see a cultural show like this. We don't get to see reggae stars promoted in this way. So come on, I promise you, you will.
And
enjoy.
we're going to wrap up in a second, but another nice touch that you're going to see there, right? David was like, oh, let's put quotes. I wanted quotes on the wall, right? And David was like, oh yeah, let's use quotes from the artist's music and things. I was like, no, I want some of your quotes in there. Went back and forth for a little bit. And then I was like, David, let me just pick your brain a little bit. What are your thoughts on this? And we sat there having a conversation. Of course, I turned the recorder on my phone on. And we sat there having a conversation, and as a result, I was able to grab several of David's quotes. And so what you will see on the walls is why David decides that he's going to crawl around on his stomach on the ground to get his pictures, and when he's swinging from rafters and sneaking behind, all the pictures that David gets, you can tell that it's not just any old body can access those types of pictures, so you'll see some of the story behind.
And if you notice I'm turning thing, it's because some of those quotes are a little bit embarrassing. It looked good. It looked good when we were reviewing it, but when you see them print big on the wall, it's like It's like
fabulous.
Yeah, like one of the quotes says, "I have the balls to do something that don't look so tame on the wall." I'm like,
you're not a tame guy, and I think the entire show genuinely represents who you are. And how this whole thing has come together. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sexy Man.
That's right.
That's Mr.
I look forward to seeing it, right?
It's very good.
And I look forward to seeing you guys, right?
So Ash, my in-house model will be there to meet everybody. So come if you want to meet Ash.
Yes.
Chef Ariel.
Oh, you say I'm single.
Hear that? The single she's single and available.
Ready to mingle.
My sister Lottie watch.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna stay out of that one. And with that, thank you for watching Island Origins Live. I'm Calibe. This is Mr. Sexy Man. This is Ash, and we are out of here for the evening. I'm gonna do my ratchet walk around to turn it off.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
Thanks, April. Love you.